The Paris Summer Olympics is set to kick off on July 26th. For the next 3 weeks, all eyes will be on the world's brightest athletes. And here in Hong Kong, 35 competitors will be taking part, with 20 athletes making their Olympic debuts. The Post sports reporter Paul McNamara is with us to talk about the Hong Kong athletes to look out for. Hi, Paul. The excitement is building up for the Paris Olympics.
It absolutely is. It's coming round very quickly. There's been a lot of high-profile sport this summer. We've had the European Championship football. Wimbledon has just finished. The Tour de France is ongoing, but feels like we've saved the best till last, and only a week now until we get underway.
Absolutely. So let's start with the veterans of Hong Kong Olympians, perhaps.
First of all, I think the name on everybody's lips in Hong Kong is always Siobhan Haughey, an absolute superstar of Hong Kong sport. She was a double silver medalist in Tokyo, and even replicating that performance in Paris is an absolutely huge ask because of the level of competition Siobhan will face. But she's probably Hong Kong's, without wanting to put too much pressure on her very big shoulders, probably Hong Kong's biggest medal hope, besides Shun Ka-long, who's going to be defending a title, an Olympic gold medalist in Tokyo, Hong Kong's only second Olympic gold medalist in history. And there's, as his coach has said this time, a target on his back as the man they all want to shoot down in the foil competition in Paris.
Going back to Siobhan, she's had a strong showing in the lead up to the Olympics, so there must be a lot of pressure and expectation building up.
She's been in excellent form, but speaking to her coach, they're very realistic. They're trying not to think too much about the outcome of Siobhan's performance. It's more delivering the best performance she can. So she won a world title in Doha earlier this year in the 100 metres freestyle, and she wasn't actually especially happy afterwards because she didn't feel she'd swum as well as she could. What they want in Paris is personal best. She's swimming in the 100 metre and 200 metre freestyle. The objective is to swim the best times of her life and see where that takes her, because the level of competition is extraordinary. There was, in the 200 metres in particular, there's two Australians, Ariana Titmus and Molly O'Callaghan, who in a recent event in Australia both swam under the previous world record time. So that's the level of competition Siobhan is going to be facing in Paris.
And Shun Ka-long, you were mentioning, he's feeling a bit of pressure as well.
He is. We've spoken to his coach quite a lot, Greg Koenig, who's a former Olympian himself, and he says Shun Ka-long in Tokyo, he was ranked world number 19. There was no real pressure on him, and he just surged through the field, grew stronger and stronger throughout the day, and ended up on top of the podium, whereas now he's a much more well-known athlete. Others look at him as one of the men to beat, and there's two men ranked ahead of him in the world now. There's Tommaso Marini, an Italian, an American called Nick Itkin, who are both 24, both 3 years younger now than Ka-long, and almost becoming men of fencing. So Ka-long's having to deal with the pressure of being defending champion, and also the fact that these top athletes are wanting to win their first Olympic golds as well. What they've done with Ka-long is taken him away to a camp in France now and put him in what they call a bubble, just to take him away from all the attention he has in Hong Kong. Hopefully settle him down and allow him to produce his best, because his best on the day is still good enough to win, and he still wins tournaments. He's won 2 Grand Prix this year, so there's still a chance of him going and becoming Hong Kong's first ever 2-time Olympic champion.
And we have a female, #1 female fencer as well. Let's talk about her.
Vivian Kong Man Wai, yes. She's #1 in épée. Her preparations have been hampered by a knee injury, which actually forced her to withdraw during the recent Asian Fencing Championships. Now, Vivian's had 2 serious knee injuries before, and she said that coming back from this particular injury is presenting as much of a mental challenge as a physical challenge, and having to overcome those barriers and almost allow herself in training to go full pelt and trust her body isn't going to let her down. So that's hampered her a little, and she's only just back to full training. But again, she has a coach who has said, he's a 70-year-old, he said, I first went to Paris 50 years ago. I don't need to go back to Paris just to see Paris. I'm going back there because I want to see my athlete win a medal. Vivian has been to 2 Olympics before. She's been to the round of 16 in Rio, the quarterfinals in Tokyo. So she wants to go at least one better this time and get a medal, hopefully two better and into a final and fight for that gold medal.
So many hopes riding on these young Hong Kong athletes.
Yeah.
How about let's turn to our mainland Chinese athletes. Who are we going to look out for?
Crikey, well, they've got a huge delegation, so it's been very hard paring it down to who we should look out for. Kwan Hong Chan in diving is a big name.
She won gold, didn't she?
She won gold as a 14-year-old in Tokyo and came of age. And we've talked about people taking pressure and finding it an obstacle to success. She seems to wear pressure very, very lightly, because we know with Chinese athletes there's expectation on them and enormous competition to become the person who's selected for mainland China in the first place. But she's just, in the 3 years since, her level of performance has been exceptional, and as a 17-year-old she now goes to Paris aiming for 2 gold medals. She is joint world number 1 with her compatriot Chen Yuxi, who is a relatively old 18, 1 year older than Kwan Hong Chan. So they're going to be the two vying for gold. And the reason for picking Kwan out of them is purely because of what she did at the age of 14, the fact she's going to be going for back-to-back Olympic titles. And then in the synchronised platform event as well, she will go with Chen, and the expectation is that they will win gold in that event as well. And again, that underlines a level of pressure on them. The fact that I'm sitting here saying they're going to come home, you would have thought, with a gold medal each, and one of them will have 2 gold medals and one will have a gold and a silver, but they've still got to get on that 10-metre platform board and perform.
Okay, and just quickly, and any other sports that you want to highlight?
Well, table tennis. China, again, we come back to that word expectation. China expects its table tennis players to win every gold medal. For the first time since 2004 in Tokyo, China did not win all 8 table tennis events. They only won 7 out of 8. So imagine the letdown. And a lot of pressure on one man's shoulders this time, Wang Chuqin. He has been chosen to represent mainland China in the men's singles, the team events and the mixed doubles event. So he'll be in the mixed doubles with Sun Yingxia, and the reason that's relevant is because that was the event where China did not win gold last time. In the singles, he has the pressure of following Ma Long, who is a legendary Chinese table tennis player. He's a gold medalist from Rio, the gold medalist from Tokyo, but he's missed out on individual selection this time. So Wang is carrying the baton there and expected to win the gold. His nearest challenger will actually be a teammate, Fan Zhengdong, and they played in the Asian Games final last year and Wang won it 4-3. So we certainly settle for a repeat of that final and the excitement that generated. And then those two and Ma Long team up in the team event, and there's probably pressure on the 2 leading players now, Wang and Fan, to try to help Ma win another medal and add to what's already an enormous collection.
All right, we'll leave it there, Paul. We'll look out for your updates when the Olympics starts in Paris, and where you'll be reporting for us live. So stay tuned for the Post Sports Desk full Olympic coverage. Visit scmp.com for the latest developments in Paris.